Hello and welcome to the latest Let's Play Pokemon TCG Online. I'm Daniel, one of the hosts on the weekly Reasons I'm Broke podcast, found right here on YouTube, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on TuneIn. And we've got another streak of matches that we're going to be doing today. And going with our Gengar deck, first opponent is Divine Heresy 89. I did miss what kind of deck they ended up using, but for this one, for anyone new to the channel, this is a Gengar Chandelure deck in the unlimited format at this point. And we ended up losing the coin flip to Divine Heresy 89. I think it was a dark type. I did not pay attention to the types at the bottom right-hand corner, but it looks like we do end up getting a mulligan, so we're going to reshuffle and draw a new hand of 7, and we do get a little Litwick there, and they end up getting a mulligan as well. And here we do have a Great Ball, we've got a Professor's Letter, we've got a Rock Candy. So not the worst start in the world. We always like to start off with the Gengars, of course, but let's see what we can pull off on today's matchup. And we are going to finish up right there. So let's see what they ended up choosing. We've got our 6 prizes, and it ends up being a water deck. So we've got the Full Art Lapras-GX. It's got the first attack, which is collect, draw 3 cards. And then Blizzard Burn for 160 damages. Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. Ice Beam GX does 100, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Very awesome move. Haven't really gone up against a Lapras deck too many times, so this would be really fun to go through. Let's go ahead and get some energies right out of our deck here. So we're down to 4 or 5, so just 4 in our deck after this. And there they are. Let's go ahead and do Great Ball. Let's hope for a Chandelure out of that. We do get a Lampent and a Gengar. What do I want to go with? Probably Gengar, because we might get knocked out next turn. So let's go with Gengar EX, put him down on the field. And for now, I don't have... Oh, they end up conceding the match, so that will about do it for that very first one. Our little win streak goes up to 2. And at the very end of this video, we will open up some more booster packs let's see what we end up having. I completely forgot. We still have some, I believe, Guardians Rising in there. We definitely have some Sun and Moon. We get 25 coins out of that matchup. Let's jump right into the next match. After we get our versus rewards, the ladder going up just a little bit higher on that end. And recently, at Cuban Slim on Twitter, sent me a DM letting me know that the new rotation for Pokemon TCG starting on September 1st will be Breakthrough Forward. So it'll be really interesting to see the new decks and the new matchups that players are going to build, both on the competitive side and on the casual side, since stuff like the Shaman and apparently I was talking to Mike today, one of my buddies, Mike, at the shop, and he said that the Lysanders as well are going to be out of rotation along with the Escape Ropes. So let's see how that ends up affecting the rest of the game and the competitive scene once again. So they end up getting a mulligan, and so do we, but we do have a type advantage here. They have a fighting type deck, and we've got the resistant ghost, well, psychic types, but we've got ghost Pokemon on our deck. We do start off with 2 Gengar EXs. Of course, we're going to put out the Hump in the Air Full Art Gengar, and then the regular one on the bench. We've got our Gengar Spirit Link, we've got Teammates, and that's pretty much it. No draw support. They end up getting another mulligan, so there's draw support right there. Next opponent is Colorado Garza, and let's see if they end up getting a basic Pokemon. Looks like they do. And aside from that, let's see if we can set up pretty quickly with a Dimension Valley, or at least get a Tierno out of the draw here, maybe a Professor Birch. And as I have mentioned before, we are going to try to build a new deck based on what the new set brings from Burning Shadows. And it'll be a perfect time, too, with the new rotation starting on September 1st. You can really catch up and have a deck that will be in rotation for quite some time. And for anyone that is going into tournaments this month or next, the standard format will still be Primal Clash Forward. So anyone that does play standard format will still still have some time to not adjust their deck or to build a new deck before the new rotation does come in and people start building up and getting their points for the next season. So just keep that in mind that the tournaments between now and September 1st are not going to really be for anything except prizes, because the points right now aren't really counting, but very exciting time regardless for the TCG and everything else. So right now, that's all we end up getting, unfortunately. No draw support. The Pokemon they put out is Regirock EX. Has the ability Regipower. This attack of your fighting Pokemon, excluding Regirock EX, do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And then the Bedrock Press does 100 damage to your opponent's next turn. Any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 20. We don't get anything out of that, unfortunately. No draw supports. All we're going to do is Night Attack for 3 damage counters onto the Regirock EX. And it brings it down to 150. So let's see what they have going on here. And There's another energy onto the Regirock, and it is our turn. Come on, double colorless. Oh, there it is. Called it right away. We will take it and go ahead and poison up the Regirock EX, put some pressure on it. And there it is, 60 damage plus the poison. We'll switch on over to one of our other Gengars, one of the other boys on the bench. And out comes the poison damage from that Dark Corridor attack. So now they can actually do some damage to us. They're going to do the Lucky Helmet. They've got Enhanced Hammer right there to get rid of our DCE. And now we've got the Bedrock Press for 100 damage. There's Professor Sycamore. They're going to go ahead and discard and draw 7 more cards. Let us know in the comments below any really good decks that you saw either during the Nationals tournament or anything that you see at your local Pokemon League. I don't often see people use Terrakion. It does Rock Tumble for 50 damage. This attack's damage isn't affected by resistance. And then the Pump Up Smash for 90. Attach 2 basic energy cards from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon in any way you'd like. It's a really interesting deck. Again, we haven't really gone up against something like this. Definitely have seen the Regirocks in the past, but not the Terrakion or the a couple of Zygardes. But let's see, 80 damage due to resistance, and we do get a Mystery Energy. We got to attack something at this point. We can't just sit around, so we're going to go ahead and Night Attack for 3 damage counters onto the Regirock. That is out, since that is the only one with energies on it. Brings it up to 140, and then with Poison, 150. So they're down to 3, 1 attack away, and they don't get the draw support from the Lucky Helmet because the placing of damage counters does not count as actual damage to the Pokemon. So now they're going to go ahead and power up the Zygarde, seeing as how the Regirock is probably going to go next turn. Even if they end up retreating, we'll be able to get it with this Gengar, even if this other one is knocked out, and happily take it. Yeah, we'll take a fresh hand of 6. So they go ahead and shuffle, they get their 6, and here we go with ours. Get rid of those 2 rare candies. We don't even have a Litwick on the bench. And we do get a Tyranno, we've got a Lucky Helmet of our own, we've got the Great Ball. There's another Enhanced Hammer. They're going to get rid of our Mystery Energy, so there goes our free retreat cost, unfortunately. Really slowing us down. And they're going to attack with Bedrock Press for another 80 damage. We're down to 10 hit points on poor Gengar. So let's go ahead and draw up. We do get the Rock Guard. Let's go ahead and Great Ball. And there's a Litwick, there's a Mega Gengar. Let's do the little Litwick. Alright, bench Litwick. We'll use the Evosoda next turn. We've got the Lucky Helmet this turn, and Tyranno. Do we get the Dimension Valley? Not yet. There's a Lampent though. Beautiful. I will definitely take it. And a Lucky Helmet on the Gengar EX before we knock out the Regirock. And thankfully we do have the energy retrieval, so even when we are knocked out next turn, we can get that energy right back. So there's the knockout, 2 prizes for us, and we end up getting a basic energy and a Pokemon Fan Club. Don't really need the Pokemon Fan Club anymore, so we may end up using it in combination with Caitlyn. So we'll get rid of that and draw up some more cards. Maybe the Chandelure, so we don't need the Evosoda, or even better, a Rare Candy, so we can go straight up into Chandelure from Little Litwick. There's Zordon right there, Zygarde EX, and let's see what it ends up doing. Voltron himself using the Mega Cannon, and there's another end, so there goes our entire hand once again. We're down to 4 since it is the number of prize cards, and they're up to 6. So long Lampent and the Evosoda. We actually had a pretty decent hand. Instead we get teammates. That works too, so go ahead and knock us out. There's the Tool Scrapper, goes away with the Lucky Helmet, so they are really disabling what we end up attaching on our Pokemon. That seems to be the kind of deck that they are playing here. We'd see a couple of Enhanced Hammers. There's the Fighting Fury Belt, so a lot of tools in play. And there goes the Gengar EX very soon. So there's the Cell Storm with the resistance. It still does 50 damage. And 2 more prizes for him. Let's put out the powered up Gengar right here. So we could go for a double colorless energy. Let's go ahead and do Teammates. And at this point, I'm going to get Lampent, since we do have a little bit of time that we can buy ourselves here before we really need that Chandelure. And then we're going to go with Dimension Valley. So let's go ahead and play that Dimension Valley so we can go ahead and poison up the Zygarde, put out the Lampent. And there's the evolution. Feed the Gengar EX. Once again, poison it up. Dark Corridor, especially with all that damage, or all those hit points on it. With that Fighting Fury Belt, we've got to really put some pressure on and bring it up to 70 damage out of 190. So they haven't yet powered up the Terrakion. And here's the Land's Wrath for 100 damage that they're going to be doing to Gengar EX. And it's going to bring it down to 90 with the Fighting Fury Belt, even with the resistance. There's the Pokemon Center Lady, brings it down to 10 damage. So they are ready to go again, and the poison is completely gone. Resistance 90, of course. And we end up drawing again. Mystery Energy, perfect, we'll take it. Free retreat cost, let's draw up 3 more. Come on, Chandelure. No Chandelure, we do need some energies though, so let's go ahead and get those out of our deck. Gengar Spirit Link, not bad, gives us some options here. So let's go ahead and retreat for free. And there's the Gengar EX, Dark Corridor. So try to poison it one more time. Could have used the Lysander to try to slow him down with the Terrakion, kind of drag that guy out. But unfortunately, we don't have it, so we will get another knockout out of the Zygarde EX here. So that'll be 2 more prizes for him. They'll be down to 2, and we'll have the Gengar EX still poisoning them, but not really much we can do here. Team Flare Grunt, I'm guessing to this guy? No, they're going to... I don't know why they used it on that Gengar EX. They're about to knock it out. Land's Wrath, there it is. I don't know, that's really weird. I would have saved it. So there's 2 more prizes for him. Let's bring out the Gengar EX. So that brings their damage up to 90. And all we've got is a little Lampent here. Damn, we gotta try it. So we're gonna go with Teammates. Use that right up, get that Chandelure, and let's go with Rock Guard. Oops, definitely not Mega Gengar. Chandelure, where's our Rock Guard? I was thinking, I mean, Mega Gengar wouldn't have been a terrible choice, but there we go. Because then we could have done 100 damage. It would have been fine either way. So there's the Rock Guard, Chandelure. There it is. Let's go ahead and feed the Chandelure as well. And Dark Corridor, switch on over to our Chandelure. Another 60 damage, brings it up to 160 after poison, and if they attack us, that'll be, that should be close to knockout, if anything, with the Rock Guard. So let's see if they end up attacking us. They're going to go with Max Elixir, and there it is, on over to the Terrakion. So there's a Pump-Up Smash, does 90, attach 2 basic energy cards from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon in any way you'd like. Oh man, they got rid of our Rock Guard. Damn. Damn. So now we're, I mean, this isn't the worst, but 16, 17, 18, 19. How many do we have here? It gives you 40 more. There's the end, so there go our energies. Let's see if we can draw up. Let's see, just 4 cards. Come on, energies. We need 1 energy. There it is. Okay, and there's a Lysander as well. So what are they going to do? They're going to attack with Land's Wrath for, there's the 90 again with the resistance. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we need 5 damage counters on the Zygarde to knock it out. So first we're going to feed Chandelure. Let's go ahead and Versus Seeker to get 3 more cards into our hand here. Try to build up our hand one more time. So there's a Rare Candy, there's an Evo Soda. So maybe if we get the Mega Gengar Spirit Link, we'll definitely use that. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. I'm just double checking my math to make sure that we can actually knock out the Zygarde. Voltron here. So 1, 2. I still wish you can do like there's a faster mechanic to actually putting damage counters. I want to put all the rest of the 5 onto the Zygarde. So one of them went onto his bench, and then the other 5 are going to go to Voltron. That's with poison. 23. There it is. Beautiful. So there's 2 more prize cards, and we are tied. So there's a Chandelure. We've got a Mystery Energy. We've still got the Gengar EX on our bench. 90 Pump-Up Smash, 20 bench Pokemon. So it might be good to do a Rock Guard. So there's the knockout. Come on, heads, and we knock out the Terrakion. Yes! Chandelure coming through. Fainting Spell, the last 2 prizes, and we win. Oh, Chandelure, you have been coming through for us, not only on TCG Online, but also when I do play at Pokemon League, so this is great. Pulling his weight. I know we had a good, 5 matches where we just couldn't get any heads with Chandelure, and finally, the last couple of matches, I've been doing a couple of heads on him, so that Fainting Spell is working out great for us. And I think with that, we can go ahead and open up some booster packs, a little bit higher on the Versus Rewards ladder and our collection. So here we go. We've got booster packs. I'm going to save those. That's going to be trade fodder. Breakpoint, Breakthrough. So let's go ahead and knock out the Breakpoint booster pack. And then we'll do 4 evolutions this time. So let's see what we end up getting on this final pack. It's Puzzle of Time. We've got a Slowpoke, Ooh, Mega Gyarados EX. The Blast Geyser does 120 plus. You may do 20 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon if you do discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Let's finish that off, and yeah, let's go into evolutions. So 4 of these. And here we go. Let us know below if you have been buying some booster packs, what your pulls have been. Also on Twitter, @ReasonsI'mBroke, and Facebook.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. We get a B drill out of that. I don't like Bs, so we're going to go ahead and get another one here. And the next booster pack will be, we got Drowsy, Caterpie, Magikarp, Rattata, Electabuzz, Machop with the reverse holo. Love Magmar. And the Mega Charizard EX. This in person, if you have this card in person, it actually goes for a decent amount of money. Crimson Dive does 300 damage. This Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. And let's forget about the full art version of that. And let's do 2 more boosters here. We've got Nidoran, Male, Ponyta, Onix, Machop, Growlithe, Energy Retrieval. Beautiful Energy Retrieval. Might end up switching one of mine for that one. We've got the Pokedex, Porygon, and Dugong. Here we go. And we got Ghastly, Sandshrew, Porygon, Revive. Oh man, reverse holo Charizard. We opened up a full evolutions box and we put it up right here on the channel, and we did not pull a single Charizard, not even the regular holo or the reverse holo. I ended up having to just buy it at my local comic book shop as a single. So it's like, damn, like I get it digitally and I don't get it from a whole booster box, but we ended up getting it anyway. And then the promo to it is gorgeous. That's one I didn't pull, obviously, because couldn't participate in the pre-release that you're running, but it is an awesome, awesome card. Down to this day, even though Charizard is nowhere in my top 10 Pokemon of all time, it's still a gorgeous card and an iconic one in the history of Pokemon TCG. So really nice to take a look at that. And then another damn B. Let's exit out of this quick. Thank you so much for joining us on today's Pokemon TCG Online. Don't forget to subscribe for the weekly podcast where we cover comics, movies, TV, video games, Pokemon, Batman, and more. And also follow us on Twitter @ReasonsI'mBroke. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.